All right. Well, welcome. Glad to see everyone this morning. So excited to have you all here. Some of you were with us yesterday and through the week. So hopefully we'll have a little continuity as we go forward. So let's go ahead and get kicked off. As we talked about yesterday, our sessions in this track, we're kind of following along the customer journey, not specifically, but touching upon different topics that matter in that digital customer journey. And today we're going to be talking about self-service, and in particular, self-guided tours. And some of you may be wondering, well, why the heck is that important? And why would we really delve into this? So I'm going to start this morning with a little bit of a tee up around self-service outside of our industry and just as humans, what we've become accustomed to in terms of self-service. So we showed this slide yesterday about how we have changed as consumers, and we call them prosumers, right? Because it just sounds a little bit sexier. But basically what it means is we expect everything on time, at our fingertips, any disruption to me trying to get access to information or any lack of transparency, I get super annoyed, right? And I just will not work with that brand. And a couple of the highlights of that were self-service 24/7 access, right? That's really important to me as a consumer. And that applies in our industry as well. But when you look at how we engage with our buyers, and this came up yesterday, Roxanne made a good point yesterday about, we go to all this trouble to generate interest and connections and get people. We want the phone to ring or we want them to come see us, but then we don't bother to be there and be present. So when you look at the number of visits to our sales centers or model homes, 25% of them come after hours, after our open hours. And it makes sense, right? Because we're working, we're busy. We can't necessarily go, in that 9 to 5 or 9 to 6 window that we typically offer. And that carries over to calls. So when you look at calls that come in, at least 20% are after hours. And as we all know, people are not going to leave a voicemail, and they're probably not going to call you back. So we're missing that window if we only answer the phone according to our timelines and what's convenient for us. And then this was absolutely fascinating in terms of chat. 40 to 50% of the chats, if you have a chat bot on your site, come after hours. People are looking at homes online at like 1 o'clock in the morning, which, kind of makes me wonder about their lives, but, that's when they have time, right? Or that's their cycle. That's when, they're ideating and the kids are in bed and they actually can go do that. So the question is, if you don't have chat and somebody's on your website and they have a question or they need help, how are you dealing with that? And you're probably not. They're just kind of moving on, and you never know, that happened. So we have evidence of people trying to engage with us when we're not available. And self-service actually isn't just about convenience, right? So it's not just about being available in those off hours and accommodating that. There are some real psychological things that happen in the world of self-service. So a few examples for you. McDonald's, when they went to their self-serve kiosk, found that the average check size was 30% larger. And 20% of the customers who didn't order a beverage ended up ordering a beverage because the kiosk never forgets to upsell, right? They never forget to say, you want fries with that? I had to say that. That brilliance, it just pops in my head sometimes. But, it makes sense, right? So you think about your own activity. Taco Bell, self-service app, 20% larger. And again, it's just, you're there, you're ordering, you can do it. And Cinemark, right? Movies, right? We didn't think we could spend more in terms of, popcorn and drinks, but again, you'll spend more if you can self-serve. And then another example is Chili's, self-service tablet, 20% increase in revenue. So this is significant. So this isn't just about, hey, we want to be friendly and we want to be nice. It's about letting people explore, and self-serve. And then a couple more examples for you, and I love this one. Liquor stores, when they found if they gave you kind of a self-service tool, you would spend more. And a lot of it was about you might not know the fancy pronunciation of that wine that you love. And it's super embarrassing, okay, at least for me, to try to go up to the counter and say, I have this amazing wine and I know how it's spelled, but I'm not even gonna try to say it, right? It's embarrassing, right? You don't wanna be unsophisticated. But if I can self-serve, I would drink more wine, is the net of that. I don't know if that's a good thing. In fact, how many of you are at the Cambria Hotel? Good portion of us. Here's what I love. Like, I get up super early, like 5:30. Well, usually the Starbucks is not open until 6. So I'm just sitting there and I'm like, really want my cappuccino. They have an amazing little unit down there and you put in your credit card. I don't even know how much it costs. That did not matter to me. At 5 in the morning, I got an amazing cappuccino. Was I angry that I didn't have a barista to serve me and put my name on my cup? No, actually, I don't want to engage with anyone at 5 o'clock in the morning, right? So it's just an example of people actually would prefer that scenario. Another one, and I can so relate to this one. When you order pizza online, you end up spending way more and ordering items. People are embarrassed to ask for the big pizza, cookie, right? That's embarrassing. But you will order more calories, you will order more items, and then Joanne was saying, it's really embarrassing when you place a, to-go order, a delivery order, and they go, is that for 5 people? No, that's just me. Just utensils for 1. I mean, it's really embarrassing, but you could go on and you can ponder over your decision. So it isn't just about convenience, which is super important, and catching those connections. You actually can get more revenue. And we have a design center session later today, and then we know that. We know people spend 30% more when we give them an online design center. That's a fact. So with all that said, we're gonna now talk about examples of this and applications of this in our world, specifically with self-serving of tours and what you can do once you get into model homes and your sales centers. And we have an amazing set of panelists. So we have Barrett from CEO from InterNow. And we have Greg from Blue Tangerine, and we have Courtney from Kindred, and then Joanne from Crestron. So these people are going to do a speed round perspective on different slices of the whole concept of self-serve.